What's good, everybody? I'm Big C from RBC, your favorite hillbilly on Twitch. Today I'm going to be discussing the hunter rotation, the different aspects of it, and the little things that's going to help you parse better during your raids as well as increase your DPS. So today's video is about DPSing as a hunter, our rotation, increasing our parsing and our DPS. There's one thing I want to say straight out of the gate when it comes to this rotation is please do not use Serpent Sting. Just don't do it. Don't use it. Just stop. Take it off your bar if you have to. Just don't use it. The reason why you don't use it during the raid is one, it costs more mana than what multi-shot does. Two, it does less damage than what multi-shot and aim shot does. And three, it's absolutely a waste. You're just burning mana for a dot that's awful. It's bad. It's terrible. Should not be used. If you want to use it while you're out farming, out in the world killing mobs, that's perfectly fine. But whenever you're in raids, don't use Serpent Sting. It's going to be a DPS increase because you're going to burn mana you don't need to be burning mana on. You're using mana for a weaker damaging spell. The other reason why you don't use it either is the bosses in Classic can only have so many debuffs on them. So when you put Serpent Sting on, you're taking off a debuff that needs to be on the boss. Now, some guilds pay attention to this stuff, some guilds don't. But the big thing is, you know, you take off Serpent Sting off something like Thunderclap that helps the tank survive, you're doing a bad job and you're being a bad player. And it's not very smart to do that. Now, we're going to be showing the hunter rotation here in a little bit. This is AQ40, this is Battle Guard, Satora, and you know, we don't Serpent Sting here. Another thing to know too is a DPS, especially as you move into AQ and Nax, it's more about mechanics than it is, you know, trying to be a parse lord. Now, I'm a parse lord, but I also have the ability as a player to be able to do mechanics and parse. But mechanics always come first whenever you're doing a boss fight, because if you're not doing mechanics correctly, it doesn't matter how much DPS you're doing, doesn't matter how amazing your parses are, you're going to cause the raid to wipe. And also, if you end up dying yourself because you're not following mechanics, you're a dead DPS, which makes you a bad DPS. So doing mechanics, making sure you stay alive is key. And the purpose of this video is, you know, to teach you how to do the DPS that you need to do as a hunter, and being able to parse well so you do that damage, because it really relates a whole lot as a hunter. You know, your parses and your DPS really go together, because the hunter rotation's actually really tight, and as you get into AQ, you might notice you start falling off a little bit because everybody's gear just keeps getting better and yours really doesn't. Especially in Nax, it's even more noticeable in Nax, and that's really when you'll see that you'll fall off as a DPS as a hunter. So that's why it's really important that you're tight with your rotation, because if you're not tight with it, then you're going to fall behind. Now, the rotation is pretty simple. As you see right here, there's a little bar. This is the weapon swing timer. You'll see it change colors during this boss fight. White is the moments where you can move if you need to. Red, you need to stay still because that's your auto attack. You don't want to be clipping your auto attacks. You want a multi-shot and aim shot without disrupting your auto shots. In this video, I'm on my Horde Hunter at the moment, and you'll see that I'm currently spec'd as survival spec, so that's why you don't see true shot or up. But whenever you use rapid fire, doesn't matter if you're marks or if you're survival, you don't have to worry about your auto shots then. You basically want to pop rapid fire so that you get the max amount of aim shots on it. That's key, because your aim shot goes quicker and it's really important. So do take note of that whenever you use rapid fire. It's really the only cooldown that we have. When you're spec'ing the marks and you have the 5 points in aspect of the hawk and you get that proc, you don't have to worry about your auto shot then either because of the haste. It doesn't disrupt it, so you can just go to town with your aim shot and not have to worry about it because it's not going to fail. I'm going to show parts of this video because there's something that's really important as a hunter, and it's strafing. A lot of people don't understand how to do this, and that's another reason why the weapon swing timer is actually a really good add-on. There are people out there that don't need to use it. I personally don't need to use it, but there's a lot of times where it makes it easier to have it. I play an Orc Hunter and a Night Elf Hunter, so the animation is not the same, obviously, because there's two different races built differently, and so it's a little bit harder for me to keep the animation in mind, because you have to really pay attention to the animation whenever you're raiding if you're not using weapon swing timer to make sure you don't clip your auto shots. There's no reason for you not to use it. It's not no elitist thing or anything like that. It just makes it easier, and when you need to be tight with your rotation, you need to use whatever tools is available for you to stay on top of it. That way you don't fall off. And you know, if you're in a casual guild, it's not that big of a deal, but me personally, I don't want to, you know, be a burden to the raid. I want to, you know, parse good. I want to DPS good. I want to do mechanics and be the best that I can be for the raid and fulfill my role, especially since I am the class lead on the horde side. So we get on into this, and as you see, this is the start of the fight. There are ads that have to be DPS first, then you'll get Battle Guard, Satori herself. But here you'll see me strafing a whole lot, and you'll see the bar going off. When the bottom bar is green, it means that your aim shot successfully went off without clipping one of your auto shots. The white bar here that you see is when you're able to move, and the red bar is the moments when you shouldn't be moving. For the most part, I try not to clip my auto shots. Sometimes it does happen. Nobody's perfect at the end of the day, even though I feel like I'm pretty close to it. Oh, I'm kidding. I do think I'm a really good player, though, and my history of playing WoW over the years proves that as well. But, you know, here you see the white bar, you can move. Red bar, you don't move. And you want to auto shot on the red bar. There you see it said interrupted. I had to change targets. And there you see where it shows up where it failed. You basically want to aim shot whenever the red bar comes up. And sometimes you just have to run away. My feign death is on cooldown. Feign death is so good as a hunter. I use it way too often. But the weapon swing timer shows you basically everything that you need. You know, it'll show you where you're failing at if you're paying attention to it, or if you record the videos and you need to go back and watch and see what happens. But this is pretty much this fight. But this is pretty much how it is as a hunter. You know, you want to do your best to auto shot between strafing and between your aim shot and your multi shot. Which multi shot's an instant cast. You don't have to worry about a cast timer on it. But like I said, you want to aim shot here during the red bar, and when it goes off right, it's a green. It doesn't show it say failed. So this is basically the fight, and this is basically the rotation. Now I still need to talk about trank shot, because trank shot's important, and because there are fights, especially in BWL, but there's a fight in AEQ as well where you need to be able to trank shot, and we're going to discuss that as well. But that's mainly the hunter rotation. You know, you want to strife and not interrupt your auto attacks, your auto shots. You want to make sure you aim shot between auto shots, so when the red bar's up on weapon swing timer, you do it. You just spam multi shot whenever you can. Off cooldown, obviously, you don't have to wait between auto shots like you do with aim shot. So this fight's almost over with. I am a survival spec hunter in this fight, and as you see, I'm the top of the meters. It stays this way for this fight. I was really happy because I was struggling in AQ. I died the first two bosses. I was being a bad DPS. And I was mad at myself because I was like, I'm not somebody that dies during the raid. It's not something that I do. Dying during boss attempts, so it felt bad, and I was kind of upset at myself because, like I said, I'm one of those people that likes to do well. I'm competitive with myself, and yeah, you know, I'm competitive with myself. I like to do good. Now, we're going to talk about trank shot for a moment because trank shot's obviously important. There's different fights where you have to do it, and you know, there's something people has a problem with is that they like to cast instead of doing mechanics. So whether you're a hunter casting aim shot, or if you're a mage or a warlock or a healer, when there's a mechanic that needs to be done, you have to just interrupt your cast and move, or do whatever is necessary to be done. On Chromagus, it's really important that you trank shot, because it's going to be a bad time for the tank otherwise. And if it's a bad time for the tank, then it's going to be a bad time for the raid. And nobody likes that. That's not a good time. So I'm going to show you the importance of using trank shot. You interrupt your aim shot. I just want to show it really quick on this video. So I'm on my Alliance Hunter. I am MM spec for this fight. You see True Shot Aura on my bar, and you can see it up there for the buffs as well. But this is where trank rotates really good too, as an add-on. I think only me and Vapor has it here, but I'm not entirely sure. But here comes Chromagus. I'm at a point where I'm going to be ready to aim shot at, and I just don't, because you don't even start a cast when a mechanic needs to be done. You finish, you do the mechanic, then you can start your cast, or you can interrupt your cast, whatever needs to be done for that mechanic. It's really important. Especially, like I said, as you get in AQ and Axe, and when there's things that has to be done, you need to do them. You don't need to worry about, the damage will come, and if you're a good enough player, your damage is going to show on the meters and in your parses anyways. It may not account for everything, the parses don't, but at the end of the day, a dead DPS is a bad DPS. You're being a hindrance to the raid. I know there's nights where, you're not perfect, and it's a struggle. It happens to the best of us. The whole point of, learning your rotation and understanding your rotation as a player and your class's abilities is what's really important, because it increases your play. It makes you a better player. It increases your play. The more skilled you are in your class, the better you're going to do. And like I said, it's really important to do mechanics. On this fight, I think, it would just mean another 100 doing the trank shots. It wasn't needed for 4 of us to do it. But this isn't a terribly difficult fight either. Mechanics don't really start becoming a heavy factor till you get into AQ and Nax. This other stuff is kind of easy. But I parsed really good on this fight. I think I was 86 on my parse, so I was pretty happy. I'm not as geared as everybody else is in this raid. I've raided more as Horde than I have as Alliance, but it is what it is. We do the best that we can, and that's the thing you have to understand as a hunter, too. Especially if you're behind gear and you get into AQ and Nax, it's going to be noticeable. But that's the hunter rotation. That's the importance of knowing how to strive, and also to being able to use your trank shot when you're supposed to. Quit casting your aim shot, use your trank shot, worry about mechanics. You can worry about mechanics and still do really good DPS, as you've seen with Battle Guard Satora. Worry about the mechanics of that fight, which that hunter's geared better than the Alliance Hunter too. So, but thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, hit a like. If you're not subscribed to YouTube, subscribe to it. And yeah, we upload at least 1 video a week, sometimes 2 or 3. It really depends on what I have going on. I do work multiple jobs. We stream 4 nights a week at least: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We raid Alliance Tuesdays and Wednesdays mainly, and then Horde Thursday and Sunday. I might do a Horde raid every now and again on a Tuesday, just because the only thing I need out of BWL, my Alliance Hunter, is I need 2 things. I need the crossbow off of Chromagus, and I need the neck off of Neff, and which my Horde Hunter's the same way, so it is what it is. But thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope you guys stay safe out there. I'm Big C from RBC. Peace and God bless. I'm out.